Well, hello all. All right, today I just want to talk to you about food insecurity on the planet Earth. Because of the war with Russia and Ukraine, a lot of the food isn't being grown anymore, and a lot of Europe and Africa and the Middle East are starting to see the outcomes of high food prices. Which are predicted to get even worse before they get better. How are they going to get better if this war is supposed to last for years? And what is the end of this war? Negotiation? Or will it just end up with a nuclear attack from Russia to somewhere else? And the food situation is getting worse. The shortages, the high prices, right now it's cereals, grains, and oils, like sunflower oil and sunflowers themselves. But it's going to get much worse than that. Around the world, they say that only the very wealthy will be able to eat food regularly and get fruits and vegetables. And that's a real problem for the health of humanity, because they need fruits and vegetables so that they can be healthy and all. Which brings me to my next issue is, if people don't take care of themselves and don't care about their health and only care about their pleasure. For instance, for an example, there's a person that lives in our building who absolutely does not care. Overweight, he's 50 years old and he's still working, but his boss wants to fire him because he smells so bad. He's missing most of his teeth, and he spends almost all of his time at a bar, a drinking establishment somewhere around the area that we live, and never gets any exercise or gives a rat's ass about the environment or even his own apartment. It reeks, and the apartment building owner wants him out as well because he won't take care of his place, and the neighbors are complaining. Well, people like this are all over the world. They don't really care about the environment because the only thing they care about is getting either plastered or high or something like that, so that they don't have to face reality. And when a whole bunch of humans don't care about reality, how are they going to care about taking care of the planet? And that includes our leaders. Look at how many leaders only care about the golf course, or only care about the next party or the next cocaine hit, because they make enough money till they can afford the expensive drugs. And they don't really care about the environment. They just say it's a hoax, and it just happens to be a hot week or a hot month or a hot year. That's the way the planet is, they'll say. And very, very few politicians anywhere around the world believe in climate change or even care about it or want to do anything about it. Now, here in the U.S., our last president was terrible on that subject. All he cared about was the golf course, and that was it, and getting his name and face on every page he could, regardless of whether it was good news or bad news. Our present president is too old and feeble to care about whether, and he came up with a Build Back Better Act, which would have really helped the environment here locally in the U.S. But, of course, the opposition party will have none of it, and he doesn't. His party is so weak, they won't back him up on anything. And so the Build Back Better died away, and the environment is getting worse, and as I've said on here many times. So what to do about this? And I've said people need to elect better politicians so that we can start taking care of this. It's still fixable. Not all the way fixable, but it's partially fixable, so that at least the children that are children now can grow up in a world that's going to be terrible, but it won't be horrifying. Their children, it'll be horrifying for. The people like myself who don't have much longer to live anyway, the world will be fine until we get to El Nino, and then things will get very hot and uncomfortable, but we'll still be able to survive. But our children and our grandchildren, and they're going to have a hell of a time because people don't care, because all the people want to do is drink, party, and go about their business without having to worry about what they eat, what car they drive, or how they get around, or any of that. They just want to party. And that's pretty much what my video is about today, is not caring about anything but themselves. And there's so many people like that, unfortunately. So I'll go on up here and do the video, and hopefully you guys will have a good weekend without getting too plastered. Try and think once in a while of the planet that you're on, what you're eating, what you're driving, and what you're living in. What's your footprint like? Because I know that's a very bad subject, and every time I mention it, people don't like it. And that's just the way that is. It's something we have to do if we're to fix the planet somewhat. And hopefully we'll get enough ideas together to do something as a group. But right now, the environmental movement is pretty much dead, just like human rights is dead, and every other type of systems that we put together on our own. They seem to be dying out, and party, party, party is all that matters. I appreciate all the thumbs up, the thumbs down, the new subscribers, and until next time.